That's carried. We move on to the Mayor's monthly report. Look, this is not included in the report because it is something that has happened since, but I'm very mindful of the events that are occurring over in Australia. I've spoken to two groupings this year that have included representatives from Australia with the bushfires as a not for that purpose, but with that as a backdrop. On each of those occasions, I've acknowledged the deep sadness that is felt here in Christchurch, and a particular empathy that extends across the Tasman to our cousins, as I've described them in Australia, and the desire to be seen to be standing with them, acknowledging all those that have died, and sadly I don't think that the number will stay at this level. There may be others who die as well. So I would just like the council to take a minute and stand in silence to recognise all those who have lost their lives in the bushfires and those who will. Thank you. Given the rapidity of progress, I will just touch on a couple of things that are in the report. So this is obviously dating back to December, and the first thing was this incredible opportunity that I had to meet Ashley Vance, who wrote, I guess, the one and only authorised biography on Elon Musk. And it was an extraordinary opportunity not only to hear us today, but also gave a fascinating insight into technology and the future of technology and desires in terms of payloads and everything in relation to what goes up into space. And it was really interesting because this morning I turned on the radio and I heard the Minister of Transport talking about this very issue about sustainability and also about the responsibility that comes with being able to be part of the aerospace industry with respect to rocketry. I've listed in there, and I would like people, and I can't imagine that you all stayed up last night reading my report, but just acknowledging the broad aspects of aerospace, because it is one of the 4 supernodes, and I know that some people went, "Oh, why is Christchurch NZ saying that that Christchurch and Canterbury could be in the aerospace space?" And when you think about it, aviation, space flight, rocketry, manufacturing, engineering, geospatial mapping, data analytics, education, training and services. I mean, we've actually got it here. And it makes absolute sense to me. And I had the pleasure of meeting with Mark Rocket, who ran the Q&A through his role in the Christchurch Aerospace Centre. So I've actually put the link on onto my report, and I do recommend that you sort of copy and paste that into your internet search and have a look at what they're doing in this area. I think when you think about the strengths of our manufacturing base coupled with the strength of our tertiary sector, we've actually got a lot to offer in this space. So I'm just saying. I will also call out the fact that Martin Marshall-Durieux, who many of you will know, held the role as the Honorary Consul for France for 20 years, and she's now retired from that role. And Olivier Lacoa from, you'll know him from the Novotel at the airport. Is it Novotel? That has taken her place. So I'm just acknowledging that the honorary consuls do an extraordinary amount of work, and I've also acknowledged all of the civic awards, and again expressed thanks to Yanni Johansson for his incredible role of helping guide the council through the presentation of the civic awards, which were wonderfully back in the town hall this year, so that was great. So I'll move the receipt of my report. Does anyone want to second it? James Goff. Right, Yanni.
Thank you. I just wanted to start off by just acknowledging what we did at the start, which is to recognise what's been happening in Australia. Just so people are aware, the libraries acted as a place for making bat wraps, kangaroo pouches and other items that went over to the wildlife caregivers, and that was something that was done through libraries nationally. And there's a wonderful picture of a koala and a kiwi with their arms around each other in a wee love heart. And often we see at times like this that creativity and art really helps to express what our emotions are, and that's quite a touching thing. And because of the overwhelming support, the libraries are no longer making those things or facilitating the making of those things. But really one thing that we learn in times of these disasters is often communities are overwhelmed with goods, but actually what's needed is money. It's much better to donate and then allow that to fund things that are required as they arise, rather than sending goods, particularly at this moment, as I understand it. So our Rec and Sport team have also organising a fundraiser this weekend at the Rec Sports Centres, 25th and 26th of January. They've added a special CrossFit class at 9:30 a.m, a bushfire relief fitness workout, as well as adding a segment to all fitness classes throughout the weekend to raise awareness and money, and they'll have donation buckets there for the Australian Red Cross and the Australian Wildlife Rescue Organisation. And I know that the Mayor's also, on behalf of Council, sent letters to the Deputy Premier of South Australia, the Lord Mayor of Adelaide and the Mayor of Adelaide Hills. And I just wanted to make the point that when we went through the earthquakes, there were a number of people that came over from Australia to help us as we responded, and you know, it's nice for us to have them in our thoughts when they're going through their own disaster. We're doing what we can to support them, and I just think it's really important to acknowledge. And I just finally just wanted to conclude with the comment on the Civic Awards. I really just wanted to acknowledge the committee that does a lot of the work, as well as the staff who do a lot of the work that goes into it. But actually the people that we recognise are really special people. And if you ever wonder what makes Christchurch and Canterbury such an awesome place to live and enables us to do so many of the cool things that we love to do and to look after those that we need to support, it's these people that we recognise through our Civic Awards that really, I think, you know, it's those people added up that make such a huge difference in terms of why this is such a wonderful place. And I just really wanted to acknowledge those people for the role that they play in regards to the well-being of our community and our city. Thank you. Sorry to go on a little bit mere, but I just thought it was important to acknowledge that. Thank you.
That's entirely appropriate. Any other comments? I'll put the motion. All those in favour say aye. Those opposed say no.